Greetings and salutations. My name is Yurimakis, and I am a variety content creator. That's right, I'm a content creator now. I'm not just a streamer anymore. I've officially started my YouTube channel. Yep, and that's it. Shameless plug is over. If you want to know more, you can go check out my Twitch page. I'll put the link down in the description. But from now, I wanted to play this game. I saw this game and I was like, you know what? I've played Factorio, I play Satisfactory, and I like tower defense games too. And this seemed like a nice game to bridge that gap. But anyway, let's move forward. So I've started this game up a couple of times, and I wanted to see if the worlds were procedurally generated. Now, you only get one ground zero to start with. This is the tutorial zone. The idea of the game: you have to gather materials, you have to build your defenses to survive waves of enemies, and you also have to progress your tech tree, which is down here. Now, from what I understand, previous iterations of the game were a lot more basic than this, and they've significantly increased the amount of research and the things, the progression of the game. So I'm gonna launch the game. So on the left hand side here, we've got a little tutorial, and I can confirm that the maps, they're not procedurally generated. Well, at least this first few zones aren't procedurally generated. So I decided I want to start from scratch for you guys. So let's go ahead and do that. So middle mouse click, I'm going to just copy pasta these down so we can get some copper production. So we've done the tutorial here. We're just going to follow this little left hand side here. Place turrets to defend your base from enemies. Turrets require ammo, in this case copper. Use conveyors and drills to supply them. Well, that's what we're doing here. The beauty of this game though is that you can drag and drop in the direction that you want your conveyors, which I really like that. I think that's a great feature. I think it's a great feature. So yeah, left click in places, and you can also drag and right click to get rid of objects that are in your way. Top left hand corner, we got a wave timer. You see it there? Right there. If I click that button, it skips the wave and we get that wave come instantly. So say I'm ready, right, I want to test my defenses. I can click that button and it'll skip the timer and it'll send the first wave and it'll move on to the next timer for that wave. While you're gathering resources, you can do research. Now, when you go to the research screen, the game is paused, which is a nice time for you to sort of, relax, take it easy, and see where you want to progress. The first thing I recommend doing is getting up the copper walls. I had an idea so I played this game 3 times, only 3 times, but I played games like this before, So I had the idea of what happens if I find the drop zone and own it. If I own this drop zone, everything behind it becomes mine. If I can block it off, it becomes mine. So let's go check out defenses, walls. Let's bang them in. Here we go. What I'll do is I'll probably skip over some parts going forward. I will cut it and I will send you to the next portion of the gameplay. You want to see what the outcome is. You don't necessarily want to watch me all the way through every single placement. We're going to follow this now. It says place turrets to defend your base from enemies. So we're going to place a couple of those now. The thing with the turrets is that you have to feed them. You have to feed them, right? And you feed them with copper. So what we're going to do is that we can feed this one with a copper. Uh-oh. We can shoot this guy though. We've got guns, so we can shoot this guy. So I can kill this guy before the next one. There we go. The one thing you can't do at the very beginning, you can't repair. So what we need to do to improve this situation here, we need to go into our research and we need to make sure that we've got our routers, because routers are really important in the early game because they're going to allow us to do this. Really basic setup, like say click drag, and it just takes the input and splits it into an output. Wherever you input the items, it will output them to the other locations. So now you can see on the bottom right hand corner we've got the ammo of these turrets. I'm going to do the same over here, so I'm going to copy that. Just going to paste that there. Oh, hello. What'd I do? Oh, I pressed E by mistake. Oh yeah, you can pause building, by the way. And you can pause the game too. So, researching new technology, that's where you're going to get, you know, as you progress through the levels, this is where you're going to get all of your defending goodness and your building goodness and your mining goodness and all of your technologies that you're going to research down here. So we've got titanium, we've got scrap, metaglass, coal, sand, lead, water, and copper at the moment. So we're going to capture ground zero. This is this first map. Now we've filled up these. Now we can go ahead and start adding some more down. This should now allow me to destroy this wave coming in here. Pretty much. So here he comes. Single wave. We're going to see what happens. And there they destroy him. Great. That's great. But you can see the copper moving in to fill up these, and now they're all full. The ammo is full. Job done. What I've noticed, you get these little areas where there's scraps. Do we gain anything from these? Ah, we do. We gained a little bit of lead for that. For those batteries. But we're not getting any scrap for the scrap walls, but there is scrap that we can mine. And what we'll do, we'll mine the scrap, we'll mine the lead. So this is already, you can see these are already here for us, right? These are already here for us. So the one thing I like about this as well is that you don't need power for the miners. They just mine for you. Boom. It's so easy to build in this game as well. It really, really feels nice. This is what I love about especially at the early game. It's really nice and easy. There's time for you to learn the game. You know, I can have a look around. I can see what, you know, I can make my next plan. Now I've got the situation here where, oh no, I can't cross, but actually I can. So unlike many other games, they actually give you a junction box that you can just, you know, smack down. And it basically bridges a gap. It allows you to cross belts, you know, two belts over each other. So without mixing, which is really, really nice. I really like that mechanic. They've destroyed our wall. So now we're going to the research. We're going to research the larger wall, and I'll just fill in the gaps with the little walls. What I've noticed, the enemies, they will go for the weakest point. So if you had only 5 turrets over this side, but 6 turrets over this side, they would go this side because there's only 5 turrets. If you had, you know, if I just had these thick walls over this side, they would go over this side. So if you've got 2 entry points, you want to make sure that you try to even out your defenses. And now we can add the other mine nodes here to get the rest of this beautiful, beautiful lead. The one thing that I genuinely forget about is that you can pull from multiple miners like this. It's really cool. So wherever the attachment of the miner is, it'll output it onto the belt. Doesn't matter. It's just done. And that's really, really nice. I think, to be honest, we could probably, at this point, we'll be able to survive all of the waves. But what I want to do, I want to tap all the resources in here, and then I use that for the research. You don't want to oversaturate your belts. Boom. So I'm just tapping all the resources I can right now. I'm the kind of person, if you've watched any of my Satisfactory playthroughs on Twitch, you'll know that I have a little bit of an OCD when it comes to certain things. I don't have clinical OCD, thank God. Often in games, I can spend too long doing certain things, you know, clearing out things, you know, clearing out the rocks, for example. I just want to get rid of those rocks. I don't like them being there. But when it comes to belting as well, I want to make sure that I do my belts in a clean way. But with this game, you have to be mindful of where you're putting belts, because you'll end up demolishing, you know, belt after belt after belt. And if you start demolishing belts and your system, you know, once you've got a system up and running in terms of defenses, you kind of want to maintain that system. You don't really want to take it down, because if you take it down, you risk your base getting absolutely wrecked. Oh, I'm holding something. Interesting. I didn't know. Of course I knew. What are you talking about? But now I've got surplus. I can just start spamming my defenses. And this is overkill, right? But this is the kind of thing you want to get into. We're incoming 8th wave now. We can see top left hand corner. To transfer items, drag from your ship to the core. So we'll drag from the ship to the core. Boom. Transfer the items. Nice. You love to see it. After the core is filled to capacity with an item, any extra items of that type it receives will be incinerated. Thank you very much. We've got 4k copper, so what we want to do now, we want to burn through some copper and some lead. Let's see what we can do up in here. We've got the bridge conveyor. So the bridge conveyor transports items over terrains or buildings. So if I've got a wall, I can transfer items under the wall. If I've got an area here, so if I click the conveyor bridge here, I can actually go under here from one side to the other, and you'll see a little bridge form. You mouse over it, tells you the direction it's going. Same if you want to go under multiple belts, you know, you can use a junction if you want to, or you can just bridge it. Let's go see what's going on up here. Oh, they made it through actually. Oof, they damaged that area of the wall in previous attacks. I tell you what, let's give you an example of the bridge conveyor here. Once enough resources are collected, you can launch by selecting nearby sectors from the map at the bottom right. So all of the resources are collected. The sector is captured. We can see that there. We have 4,000 copper. We have 1.5k lead and 2.5k scrap. It's pretty good. So distributor distributes input items to 7 output directions equally. Amazing. So what you can do, depending on the direction of your belts, these are auto balancers, right? So if you put 2 belts in, you can have 6 belts out equally. The sorter, if an input item matches the selection, it passes forward. Otherwise, the item is outputted to the left and right. Inverted sorter, similar to a standard sorter, but outputs selected items to the sides instead. Overflow gates only outputs items to the left and right if the front path is blocked. Cannot be used to other gates. Underflow gate. Opposite of an overflow gate. Outputs to the front if the left and right paths are blocked. Cannot be used next to other gates. With a situation like this, for example, we're pumping an entire node into our turrets. Now this conveyors are just sitting here doing nothing. We'll take an overflow, smack it here, boom. When this line is full, I'm going to want to output down here, like this. Boom. Now we've got an overflow. Everything that's coming out of here is going down here, and it's getting pumped into our core. This is our core. There are many like it, but this is ours. This is just giving you to give you an idea of the game, the basics. I really enjoy doing this, and I really want to play it more. Whee! Have we got any more research that we can do? Right, we've got the scatter gun, fires clumps of lead, scrap, or metaglass flak at enemy aircraft. So enemy aircraft is a thing. They can bypass these turrets and just go straight for your core, because that's what the enemy wants to do. They want to take out your core. But now you can see ground 0 is completed. Let's go to the map anyway. If we click on ground 0 now, you can see our stats. So we've got production, 221 lead per minute, 237 scrap per minute, and 1.1k copper per minute. That's how much we got stored in our core, and it took us 27 minutes to do that. So not too bad, not too bad. But I think what we'll do for the first video, that's the first let's play, we'll end it at ground 0, and we'll continue with the frozen forest in the next playthrough. Thanks for joining me for this short let's play. Leave a comment or like down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more and future contents that will be coming. And thanks for listening. Love your faces, and I'll see you soon.